Hi everybody, I'm Alyce-Kay Reckelhaus from the Widow Reckelhaus and Threshold of Hanini, and we're going to continue working on our modern millinery journal. And boy, I'm losing words here. I want to do just a quick flip through, and I'll talk to you about some things while I'm doing it. I like to look through every once in a while. I'm probably about halfway through decorating the pages. And so I want to look through and just get an idea of what we've got going on so far and what we still need, what kinds of things we've done and haven't done, especially because I'm usually working on 2 or 3 journals at a time, and so I kind of forget, have I done any Rita Donnelly flips in here yet, which I don't think that I have. And I've done a lot of belly bands though, so we don't need more belly bands. And it just gives me an idea of what I still need to do. It's also just fun because I enjoy it. It's pretty, and so I like seeing what I've done so far. So, I'd encourage you to look through yours and see how it is. Oh, the other thing is I always want to look and make sure that none of the pages are upside down too, because sometimes, when you turn it like this and you put it aside and then you put it back together, sometimes you don't put it right, and you can end up with an upside down page, and you sew a pocket on it, and then you realize when you flip it over, the writing is the other way or something. So it's just good every once in a while to look through and just see what you've got. Maybe you want to move some pages around or something, depending on what you're doing. Okay, so yeah, I think we're probably about halfway, maybe a little bit less than halfway finished with decorating the pages themselves. And then we'll bind it, and we will make our tags and ephemera and stuff. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to mention while I'm doing this, I like this page. I really, really like this page. How fun is that? And there's a pocket here and a pocket here, and this one has a pocket over here, besides being envelopes. And it says, cast of characters, everything about her was exotic, a wonderful creature. It's just so fun. And feminine, this is a really feminine book. So one of the things is, I just wanted to give my reasoning behind the way that I decide when to bind my journal. And everybody's different. You should watch other people and kind of come up with what's going to work out the best for you. But I don't bind my journal until I'm done putting everything on the pages that's going to be there. Now that doesn't mean that I never add something to the pages. Sometimes I have it already bound and I go, oh, I would really like to have something here or something, and so I'll do that. But most of the time I don't do that. Most of the time, once I've got everything decorated, I go ahead and bind my journal. And the reason for that is because it's just easier to take out a page and work on it, especially with my sewing machine. I could not bind this and then sew stuff. There's no way. But even if I was just gluing, it's just easier to be able to take those pages out. And then the other thing is, if you mess up a page, it's not a huge big deal to just throw away one page. But if it's already bound, you've got to figure something else out, because you can't just throw away one page. You have to unbind it or something. And so I just think that for me, it's just wiser, because I do make mistakes. It's just wiser to do it this way and bind it when I'm done getting the pages decorated. And then especially because I sew too. I do a lot of sewing in mine. Okay, so the thing we want to work on today is things with these pages and possibly with these book pages, and I want to do a little bit of painting with you, which I promise you do not need to have any talent to do. Okay? So we're going to do the painting first so we can give the paint time to dry, and it may or may not dry before we're done. Okay, so first thing that I want to do with these book pages, this is 2 pages, is I want to just cut off all the white space on this. So I'm going to get my paper cutter. Sometimes I tear them, but this is, this is just more of a coordinated, it's still shabby chic, but this is more of a coordinated journal, and so I think I want to just have plain lines on it here. Okay, I'm going to do that one separately. Okay, so these have printed on the same, same distance from the edge. And it doesn't matter if you get some of the writing cut off, but I want to keep as much as I can. So we're going right along the edge there. This is the all-in-one tool. I've shown it to you before. I'll try to remember to... Okay, I should have cut that one last because everything would have stuck together better, but it's not. It's not difficult to keep it all together. I'll put a link in my description box because I really, really love this tool. And as you can see, I use it constantly. Okay, and then let's cut off this edge. So I have a lot of white pieces of paper like this, so I'm not going to keep them. I'm not going to put them in my Franken paper. If this, I'm going to cut off this one little line there. If this was some beige paper, I might keep it if it was off-white, but since it's white and I have tons of that, I'm not going to save it. Okay, so those are all cut nicely, and then let's just cut this one while we've got the cutter out. And for this one, it's also because I had that rough edge too. And I don't want to have rough edges in this journal. For most journals that I make, I do want rough edges. Now I want this thing separate from the rest. So I'm going to kind of eyeball like where it's, well actually I'm going to go ahead and cut down to here. There we go. And then if I want to cut more off of this I can, but it's pretty much centered. So I'm not sure if I'll use that, but I'm just thinking that I might. Okay, so I can put this away, I think for a few minutes at least. Okay, so what I want to do next is I want to do the painting that I need to do so that we have time for it to dry. So hopefully we can use those pieces in this video. If not, we'll use them in the next video. We're just going to make a really, really light layer of paint, so that's, you know, it's okay. So what I want to do is I want to make some Rita Donnelly flips, and what those are little triangles. They're a square that's cut in, that's folded in half to be a triangle, and you can flip it open to write in, but you can also tuck something into it like a pocket, and it'll go in a corner. I could actually, since I'm painting over this, but it's still going to show, so I don't think I want to use that for this. This for that, whatever. This one is good on both sides. It's a little bit hard to write on this. If you have the kind of pen that I use, I wouldn't hesitate to write over this. It'll definitely show. But if you're just using like a Bic pen or something, it might not show very well. So we're going to paint over it, and that'll give it like a little bit of a neat effect anyway. So the first thing we want to do is we want to cut this into a square. And you know what? Let's go ahead and use the cutting board again, because that'll just be easier. So I want to make them like no more than 4 inches wide. So I'm going to bring it to the 4 here. I'm not sure if that's in the camera or not. Yeah, it is, so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to bring it to the 4 here, 4 inches, and I'm going to cut this like that and set that aside. And then I want to also cut this one 4 inches because I need it to be a square. So we're going to bring it here and cut 4 inches. There we go, and set that aside. Okay, so we have our square here. And actually, let's do another one too, because I like to have at least 2 of most things. So let's do 4 inches. There we go, and this one's 4 inches wide too, right? Yes, it is. Okay, so we've got these 2 pieces. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put a very, very light layer of paint on this, which is going to be the inside of the pocket. And the reason I want it to be light is because I want to be able to see this design through there, but I want to be able to write on it, or whoever buys the journal, if I sell it, to be able to write on it. So I've just got an old brush that's fairly wide, because I'm not doing anything detailed or anything. I'm going to shake up my paint, and I'm going to go ahead and let some of it stay in the lid, and that's what I'll use for a palette. Okay, so I've got just a little bit there. All right, so I'm going to get my paint, and I'm going to very lightly just go over this. Okay, I don't have a ton of paint. Oh, it's not showing through. Okay, well, that's all right. Okay, so we're going to put some paint here just really lightly. Okay, so I'll show you something on the next one for how you can make it even lighter so that it will show through. And you could use gesso instead if you wanted to. And we don't have to, we're not going to cover the whole piece. And we don't have to make it all perfect. In fact, I don't want it to be perfect. I really want it to look like it's just been like painted. Oh, the design is coming through, so that's good. Okay, but I'm going to show you something else anyway. Okay, let me get a scrap piece of paper. What do I have in here? I have a book, so let's take that out. Okay, so I'm going to just use this envelope for like a scrap. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to get some of my paint from here in the cap, and then I'm going to just wipe off most of it here. This is what's called dry brushing. Like if you're doing ceramics or something, you would do dry brushing. So I'm not, you know, getting a real even amount of paint, and it's not thick, okay? So that's just another way of doing it, and I would especially do that if I was using a darker color, but it's also kind of nice for this too, because we can see the design through it. Okay, so we're just doing that. But it just, the paint, the flat paint, don't, you know, get matte, okay, or flat. Don't get shiny, glossy stuff. That's a little bit harder to write on. Okay, we're making this so that somebody can write in this flip. And you'll see what I mean when we get it all put together, either in this video or the next. Okay, so let's actually, I think we're going to use just a little bit more here. Okay, that wiped off so we don't have too much. Okay, and here, and I'm not going all the way to the edges, and I'm not covering it all, but this will just make it enough so that you can write on it, but you can still see the design through it. Okay. All right, and then I'll wash my brush later. Using these paints, I find that what's really, really good for washing your brushes is Dawn dish detergent. Not any other kind of dish detergent. It seriously does have to be Dawn. So that's really good. Now, where did I put the other one? Well, it's someplace. Did I put it under here? I don't know. Oh, yep, I did. It's stuck to the bottom here. Okay. So there's our two things. We're going to, I'm going to set these on the sewing machine so that I don't accidentally put my journal on top of them. And we will let them dry. Okay, and then we'll set this stuff aside in my paintbrush, which I can clean later. You don't want to leave your paintbrushes for too long, but it's not going to be more than half an hour. And like I said, it's a paintbrush that's not very good. If I wasn't doing a video, then I would definitely go wash it before I do anything else. But since I'm doing a video, I don't want to make you guys sit and wait. And like I said, it's not a good paintbrush. Okay, so then what are we going to do with the rest of these things? So I was thinking we would do a tuck, because we don't really have a lot in the way of tucks. So I'm looking for pages that have some black and white on them, and I'm thinking actually more of the, like this, right here. Okay, so this page has black and white on it, so I want to put something black and white over here to kind of balance it out. So we could do a pocket on this one, or we could do a tuck, and I'm kind of thinking a pocket, and I don't want it quite that big. So probably like down to the end of this paragraph. So let's get our paper cutter again. And we'll go down to the end of that paragraph right there. I've got it flat against here, against the edge, so that I know I'm going to cut it straight. I'm going to set that aside. Okay, and then we can figure out how we want to decorate this too before we put it in here. So we're going to put it over here so that it kind of reflects the black and white. Does that make sense? I hope. All right, so I think what I'm going to start out with is, yes, I do have that. Good. And again, I want to have something under this. Let me put this over with my scissors. Okay, I want to have something under this. I want to use my black pen, my black Sharpie, and this is a thick Sharpie. You can see it's a chunky one. And I'm just going to go around the edge. I'm not really concerned about my line being perfectly straight, so I'm not going to use a ruler or anything. And I'm really bad about making straight lines, you guys. So if I wanted it to be straight, I would definitely use a ruler. But I'm just going to go along the edge to kind of outline this, because I do want to have a little bit of dark black on this. See that? I even missed the edge. And then up here at the top. And we're going to have to do a little bit more at the top after I cut the thumb hole. Oh my goodness. That's how bad I am at making straight lines. Good grief. And I still haven't gotten the edge. There we go. That's so funny. Okay, so let's cut out the thumb hole on this before I put away my pen. And so I'm going to center this. It's 4 inches, so let's do 2 inches. That should get it into the center right there. Okay, and then I'm going to take my pen and just go along the edge right there. Okay, like that. Did I get that centered? That looks off center. Oh, it's pretty centered. Doesn't that look off centered, guys? Yeah, whatever. Okay, that goes, this is going to go in my Frankenpaper box. Okay, then I want to figure out, like, do I want to just have it like that? Or do I want to add something to it to make it, you know, a little bit prettier? I do already have a button on this page. But I don't know, let's see what we have. That reminds me, I want to put some bling on one of the things that we already did, so I'm going to set that out and hopefully I'll remember. What about something from here or this ribbon? That might be kind of fun right through the center. What do you think? Okay, I kind of like that. Or, let's see, what do we have here? I'm just going to dump this and put my pen away because we don't need that anymore. See what we have here that might be fun across that. This would bring in a little bit of our green, but it doesn't really show up. How about this green? It's kind of cool. That might be fun, and then we'd still need something in the center. But I think that's kind of nice. So let's do that. And I think what I'm going to do, oh, it's wider. Let's see here, like that. Oh, I like that. Okay, oh, and you can see the writing through it too. That's kind of cool. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it around to the back to tuck in the back of that. And I've got so much stuff around my sewing machine, and I've got those things drying there that I may not be able to sew it. So I may just glue it. We'll see. Okay, just scoot those over and I'll clean those up after we finish here. Okay, so I like that. I think I do want to sew it, so I'm going to move some stuff so I can get to my machine. Put those back here. Oh, the paint is already dry. So we'll do that next. Okay, I'm not going to try to pull my machine forward. I'll just sew it. You won't be able to see me sewing, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew along the edge to just get that in place. Okay, let's see here. And I want it to be zigzag and right along the edge. Okay, and then I'm gonna see, so this is what I did right there. Okay, oh, it kind of gathered it over here, which is kind of neat. I didn't do that on purpose, but I think it's because the texture of this ribbon. And then let's go ahead and sew it on the edge there. I guess I used too much to tuck over there, so we'll sew this on the top, and that's fine. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's what we've got so far, but we want to put something in the middle, and I have an idea. Let's see, I'm going to put this back so I don't forget it. I'm thinking maybe this might be pretty, just right there, just a little piece of it right there. And I'll glue it rather than sewing. Okay. So then we'll just like, do I want to put it this way or do I want to put it this way? I think that way. Okay, and so I'll put some glue on the back of that, or actually where I'm going to set it, where I'm going to lay it down. Just right in the center. And it'll go through this ribbon so that it'll stick that to the thing a little bit better. I think this is off center, but that's okay. It may be because I have the whiter ink right there than I do over here. That may be what makes it look off center, but that's okay because this is shabby chic. We don't want it all perfect. Okay, so doesn't that look cute, you guys? I think that's so cute. All right, so we're gonna just glue, not at the top, but we'll glue around the sides. Okay, can you hear the church bells? It must be like 5 o'clock or something. I didn't count the ringing. So there we go. All right, so that reflects, let me see if I have a little piece of stuff to wipe this with. I guess not. I'm gonna have to use my shirt again. All right, you guys, this is an old shirt. It's one of my husband's old shirts and it has holes in it, so I don't feel bad about putting glue on it. Okay, it's a really old polo shirt. My husband, since junior high, okay, he died when he was 78. Since junior high, in the winter, spring, and fall, he wore khakis and button-down, long-sleeve, broadcloth shirts. And then in the summer, he wore khaki shorts and polo shirts. And he had different colors of shirts, but that's what he wore. That was his uniform since he was in junior high. It's really cute. So he never had to. He really encouraged me to kind of have a uniform too, because you don't have to take up a lot of brain space choosing what you're going to wear for the day, which is, you know, kind of smart. Okay, I'm gonna use my shirt again on this. Okay, and the glue will dry clear, so we'll be able to see more of the ribbon through that. But isn't that cute, you guys? I think that's really adorable. All right, so let's do something with our other, did we cut another? I don't think we cut another pocket. So let's do these because they're dry. Oh, they're still a little bit wet. I think we're gonna let them dry just a little bit longer, okay? So let's get another piece of book page, because I like to kind of, you know, do at least 2 of something. And let's see what we can do with that. So here's another page. This one has more writing on it, so I think I like that better. I think I'm gonna do what I did before with the pen. Let's go ahead and cut the finger hole first. Okay, so where's the center of this? The center is right here, the A in anyone. And so we're going to put that in the center of this. Yeah, I think that's more centered. And then we're going to use our felt pen around the edge just to make this stand out. And I can't remember where I got this Sharpie. I don't know if I got it like at Walmart or on Amazon. I'll look for it, and if it's on Amazon, then I'll link it. I love this. I got it actually for like packing stuff, and it is really, really nice to have that nice thick line when you're trying to write instructions on top of a box. And I use this pen all the time. I'm surprised it hasn't run out yet. I shouldn't say that because now it'll run out. And I love it. I'm going to get another one to replace it when this one runs out. Okay, so there we go. We've got our outline, and now what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do? I have this that we could put on it. That's kind of cute. And it could actually be like a pocket that's on it, so we could put something else that's small in it. Should we do that? I like that. Okay, I've already got the wire out of this one, so I'm not going to use this to show you. Actually, I think I did show you earlier. So, and I like the way that these little things are frayed there. So yeah. All right, so I think I'm gonna like sew it all around except the top, so it can be like an extra little pocket. And I'm gonna just go ahead and do that on my sewing machine. I've got too much stuff in front of it to be able to pull it out where you can see. Sorry, but And you could glue that too. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't glue that. Definitely. And I'm not taking it all the way down to the black line. I want a little bit of that white to show, but not a lot. Now, if I had thought ahead of time and I knew that I wanted to use this, I probably would have made this pocket just a little bit taller, but I think that's fine. This will be really cute with something in it. Okay. And also, if I wanted to put anything on the pocket to decorate it, I would have done that ahead of time too, because now if I put anything on, it'll close the pocket. So yeah, that's fine though. Even if I glue something, it'll go through the burlap. So I think I'm just going to have to leave it like that. But that's fine. I think that's really cute. All right, so let's get our journal. This page is still a little glue wet. So I think I'm going to just pull it out and let it dry apart from everything else, because I did put a lot of glue on that and it may take a while. That glue dries pretty quickly, but I used a lot of glue on that, so it may take a while. Okay, so it's right after this. I'll remember that. Okay, so what did I do with my pocket? Here it is. Okay, so that pocket was close to the front, so let's make this one close to the back. Let's look for a place where it would be cute. We've got this black and white here, so this will be good. Across from it, it gives it a nice balance. So yeah, I like that. That's a good place to put that. So let's go ahead and, do I want to put it up here or down here? And I could put something else here too. I think that's what I'll do. I'll put this up here so we can have the ribbon sticking out. So I like to have lots of, ribbons from the tags sticking out all over the place. My husband Bill used to say that my journals were hairy because they had thread and ribbon and stuff sticking out all over them, which, I mean, that's not just me. I think a lot of junk journalers do that. It's not just my thing, but it's kind of funny. I would tell him, oh, I got this idea from Gail Augustinelli or whatever, and he still insisted that it was my idea. Really, it's nice to have somebody who really believes in you. Sorry if I just knocked the camera. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so there we go. All right. And I think that's enough for today. I think that we'll come back and we will do these little things that we've painted tomorrow. And we'll put something down here tomorrow too. Okay? All right, I love you all. I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.